Sigulda! Woo!
Worldcups mit 107 den Sieg für Kimberly Boston.
Dan geeft ze erbij.
Sixth race weekend of the BMW IBSF Skeleton World Cup, and we are in Sigulda in Latvia. Second and deciding round of the women's race, and this is not only a World Cup race, but it also counts for the European Championships. 25 sleds from 12 nations go through into the second and deciding heat from our original field of 33. So in the first heat, full of drama, which saw a couple of sleds crashing. In third place, 11 hundredths of the lead, is Mimi Reniva. And on a track only 1,420 metres long and crams in 16 corners, you expect to have a close result. And there are some very close battles up and down the order. Just 200 ahead of Mimi, Janine Fock. And Janine has 3 consecutive wins on this track. In 4th place last season. She lies 900ths out of the lead on the track perhaps that she knows as well as any other, including her own first home of Innsbruck. And Kim Meilmans, the bronze medalist last year, behind silver medal Laura Dees. Hello Laura, and winner Tina Herman. Kim Meilmans leading. 6th best at the start, but a blinding run down in sunny Sigulda to take the lead of the race. So Lil Kim, little Belgian out front, Janine Flock and Mimi Reniva, and then a tip back to Amelia Coltman, Hannah Neiser. That little battle just outside the podium. They could take a medal from here, bronze in the men's race came from the top 5, not from the top 3. And further back again, look at the gaps. One from the top of the page, 100th, then 400th, then 100th, then 100th, then a 10th, then 100th, then 100th, and down to Kelly Delca from Puerto Rico. She creeps in. Nicole Silveira of Brazil rolled off the back of 15 and had sled over the top of her, so she didn't quite make it through. Otherwise, she would definitely have been in the field, you think. Well, there's a view from up at the start tower. Yes, it's up on big columns. It's not some Roman amphitheatre. That is the elevated start tower. And that's the bobsleigh skeleton start. The luge start is even higher than that. You have to get an elevator with the sleds up to the start area. It is unique in World Cup tracks. Well, air temperature -5, ice temperature hovering around. No, air temperature +2, ice temperature -5. I was going to say air temperature's coming down though, going with the sun. Sun's already down below the horizon. So we're in what photographers refer to as the golden hour of blue light, where everything looks nice, but there is no direct sunlight. Not under that start area and the curve, one hairpin. This is the warm-up area. Ali Clark, along with the others, just limbering up. Suzanne Craire, the world champion. She is among our front runners as well, lying in 6th position. And there is Kimberly Boss. Not the best for Kimberly, 15th place here, our World Cup points leader. But we saw a lot of changes in the men's race this afternoon, and we are likely to see a lot of changes in the women's race as well. Even between our first 2 sleds, Kelly Delca and Endia Dorado of Latvia, there is just 100th of a second. So that in itself is going to be the very first of a number of battles up and down the order. Seeing Liu Qi there on the start order, Chao Dan some way higher up, reminds us, of course, that this men's race, Yan Cheng of China claimed gold, the second ever World Cup win in men's skeleton for China, and his personal first gold medal. Kim Armans will be last to go, trying to hold off Janine Flock for the European Championships as well. Second heat, race 6 of the BMW IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup getting underway. Kelly Delca of Puerto Rico here on the track in Sigulda, where she's raced 4 or 5 times before. 3 previous World Cups, best of which was 15th. She was 25th place in the first heat. And the next sled has a 100-second advantage over her. So already Kelly, knowing that she's in a massive battle for position, she could move up the order. She just eradicates 1 or 2 of the little errors that are possible to make everywhere down this track. Start at 5:34. We started 5:33 in the first heat. Little boost here out of 14 up to 15 to try and keep herself off the wall. Wriggling into 16, little to the left of centre. Not a bad exit and across the line, 52.28. Well, her first run is a 53.01, so that is 73 hundredths better. That is a lot of tidying up. Watching here, he climbs these very quick transitions at the bottom of the track. See, the track is looking quite frosty in places. Refrigeration on to keep the temperature down as the air temperature hovers above freezing. That means the earlier you go, probably the better ice conditions are going to be. So Kelly Delca leads for Puerto Rico. Next up for Latvia, Endia Dorado. 2 Latvian sliders, Latvian-born sliders in the field. Endia, her first official race since the Olympic Games, where she finished 20th. She has not raced since. Started 5:48, giving away 1500s to Kelly Delca, which she then made up on track. 5:46, so like Kelly, a couple of hundreds quicker at the start. Long skid and toe steer from 1 to 2. A little tap into corner 4 that everybody takes, sweeping from 5 into 6. No sound of toes dragging now. There we go, there's helmet on the ice. Now, corrective steer in 11, hits wall going into 12. Bouncing around into 13. Next to the 14 is a good one, but she's a quarter of a second back. Kelly Delka had better speed as well. Not looking any better than the Puerto Rican driver. I think she's going to slip behind. And at the line, 3,200s back. So Kelly remains in the leader's box. And India Torada will end up with a no worse than a 25th place finish, but it's likely to be that, you think. So 3,900s than her first run. 3,900s better than her first run, but not as big an improvement as Kelly Delka. This is a woman who took a bronze medal here on her World Cup first appearance in Sigulda. And then the following week in a double race weekend, she ended up in 11th place, but she does have that World Cup medal already in the locker. That's a target still for many of our sliders, among them Anja Unterscheider of Austria. Anja with nearly a quarter second advantage over Kelly Delka from the first heat. 2,400s in front. Off a start that was 1,900 slower. So she had a good, smooth first heat, but Karina definitely tidied up her act in the second heat. And that's exactly what Anja is going to have to try and do. Try and just get those steers a little more accurately. 5:53. So no improvement at the start. It was 100 slower. Smooth into 4, avoids the tap without it looked too much steering. So only 600s back from Kelly Delka. It'll take a while before her speed comes back up. 400s back. Little hit from 10 to 11. Here we go. Nice out of 14, having to paddle a bit with the left foot. Gets the height in 15, flops off the exit. Still second best speed, but she's now in the lead over Kelly Delka. She moves into the leader's box with a 52.38. A tenth of a second slower than the applauding Kelly Delka. And that is enough to see her in the leader's box. So Anja Unterscheider takes the lead with 22 sleds to go. Anja's previous best, 21st place finish in La Plan. So we'll have to see whether she can maybe creep up a spot or two. So it is a PB here in Sigulda. And right now, for her teammate Julia Erlacher, a chance to try and improve as well. Julia, the 27th starter in our field of 33. Best this season, a 17th place finish in Innsbruck. Her best ever at the beginning of last year, 15th in Clarksville, Utah. So what can Julia do here? Start 5:14, 5:13 in the first heat. So that's 3,900s of a second faster than her teammate, but takes a big hit on the go on the run into 4. Out of 6. And keep it down the centre, 7, 8 and 9. And then out of 10 here into 11. Not too much steering. Letting the sled fly. A little late out of 11. A little late out of 13. Not bad out of 14. Whistles past the camera into 15. Pretty decent exit there. How hard is she working for it? Well, she's gone from 6,600s up to 2,800s up to 2,200s up at the line. So she takes the lead in an Austrian 1-2. 52.26 slide for her, 52.28 for her team, 52.30, I beg your pardon, for her teammate Anja Unterscheider. So she opens up another 1200s on that run over her teammate. Thomas Ducour's helping at the bottom, helping out the Latvian team this weekend, helping out the Austrian team this weekend, the Latvian is. Man who knows how to win on this track. And don't forget, all these athletes, all the European-based athletes, also battling for positions in the European Championships. Of course, while you're in the 20s or teens, those may be a little significant than when you get down into single digits. But there is Julia Erlacher, ahead of her teammate. She is the better of the two Austrians at the moment. Next up, Alessia Crippa of Italy. 8th fastest start, 21st at the bottom. Now, first thing is to get a good start and get loaded. Second is not to go too late into corner one, come out late into corner one and skid and tap before corner two. Oh dear. You start 5:06 even. The same as her first heat, even with her first heat. There's English in that sentence somewhere if we pick it apart long enough. Here we go, second speed. Little tap there, 10 to 11. Oh, and again, just whipping against the wall in 13. Late exit from 13, late out of 14. Having to paddle here. Still riding a wild sled. Speed's increasing. Well, the gap is increasing. Now it's coming down a little. She's only got the 5th best speed at the bottom to 2600s. So Julia Erlacher leaves the leader's box. Lily Schneider with a little ripple for Alessia Crippa as she moves in. 6100s better than her first heat. And I think she'd probably say there was about 3/10 worth of improvement still to be found. I reckon she's probably not wrong. Well, it got kind of wild below 10, didn't it? She was scrabbling from 10 to 11, and when you're late onto 11, you're late onto 12, 13, and 14. Then you have trouble on the straight to 15, then you go high into 15, then you have trouble on the straight to 16. Little slightly nervous laugh there as she watched the replay. Alessia Crippa is our leader though, 5 down, 20 to go. Liu Qi of China, 20th after the first of our 2 heats. Here in Sigulda in Latvia, 400s in hand over current leader Alessia Crippa of Italy. And Crippa went 6100ths of a second quicker. So there's the bar that Lee has to shimmy her way under. 5:17 gets away. Well, Crippa started 5:06. It's already the advantage that Lee has been halved. Now she starts to build on that, out to 1300s over Alessia Crippa. And that was those mistakes early on that cost Crippa. Now where Alessia was going quicker, Lee coming back down again. And again, Lee is having as much over here again. I think the track has definitely changed from the first heat. Still holding on to 1100s. Good height, not a bad exit, but a bit skid. She's closing right down. Is she going to be in front of the line? No. Oh, that got close. A 52.10. Only 700 slower than Alessia Crippa, and she comes across the line only 300 back. The blink of an eye would have made the difference. It would have led. Big height in 11. Clumps onto 12, and that sends her late. She has to paddle both toes there to try and stop it soaring into the woodwork. Out of 14, long, out of 15 rather. That is 14. Long skid and out of 15. Uphill, that's such a great shot. Shows you how steep it is up towards 16. So Liu Qi slips a spot. She is second with 19 to go. And next up is the second of our Latvian-born sliders, who's already had former bronze medalist Endia Terauda, and now Dārta Zunte. 22nd fastest at the start with a 5:31. Drove herself into 19th. She's in a tight battle that goes all the way down to 15th. 5:25, fourth best speed. She found 600s more at the start. The gap has yawned out because of the much quicker start. 0.2 quicker. Bobsleigh Cripper. And she's got to start turning that into smaller numbers. Fourth best speed. Ooh, I'm not sure she's got enough ice to hang on here. Still not making much of an impression on Bobsleigh Cripper. Second best speed in 15. Clean enough up to 16. She knows this track inside out, but has got what it takes at the line. She does not lose her place. We love a tie. So 52-52 in the first heat, 52-1-5 in the second. And there's the coach giving her congratulations. So she will be no worse than 19th place after Sunta. She was 18th in Innsbruck. That's her World Cup best result so far in her previous 4 starts. 2 back in 2021 for Latvia. And this is now her 3rd for Estonia. The plan and Innsbruck, and there's the family. All right, Jane Channel. Jane has better on this track than she showed today. 4th World Cups, her 5th World Cup here. Her first was the best back in 2018. First World Cup on this track where she was just off the podium in 4th place. Let's see if she can find a little bit more to move up. She's in this massively tight battle, like in the men's race, from 20 that sort of goes down to about 10 with very little between any of the sleds. She was only 600ths ahead of Data Zutter. Only 100th behind Tina Hermann, and normally that means you're in the medals. Not here, it doesn't. 5:05, another excellent start from Jane Channel. 4th fastest start, 5:03 in the first heat. Little skid into 4. 2500s up. And she needs to keep the bottom of the track as tidy as the top. Her form here is exceptional. What comes when you start sliding at Calgary. Little hit from 10 to 11. Helmet on the ice. Oh, long skid down into 15. Gaps coming down. 3500s, 2600s. Should be by a slice at the line, and across the line she comes. 1700s in front. 52.04. Bobsleigh Cripper on the left, Atazunta on the right. Leave the leaders box. So Cripper's still the fastest in this second heat with a 52.03, 52.04 for Jane's Channel. And those are both top 6 times.
Big skids.
From,
we will see.
Yeah, big skids, we will. Well, both those runs, 52.03, 52.04, would have left them in the top 6 in the first heat. Well, one had been 6th, Cripper, one had been 7th, Jane, but still quicker than Suzanne Crayer, who was 6th quickest. Now, the question is, will the track remain quicker? Ying. All right.
Come on, Tina!
Tina Hermann, 4-time world champion. And last year's winner here. She's in 17th place. Tina 5:39 in the first heat, 5:46 in the second, and a little skid from 1 to 2. Little tap into 4. Transitions on this track so short, even in the slow corners up top. And then 7, 8, 9 into corner 10, and from 10 on, you're just in a tumble dryer, getting thrown from curve to curve by G-forces. If you can get on to 11 right, you're pretty good down to 14. Best speed of all for Tina Hermann, still in the red by half a second. That's down to 1500s. Will she sneak in front at the line? She does. That's the big skids that Jane had on the two straights, which really cost her 51.91 for Tina Hermann, compared to 52.45. Well, that is now the sixth fastest run of the entire competition, not of this second heat. Only the top five in the first heat managed to go quicker. And that's off a 5.46, which is giving away nearly half a second. Nearly half a second, not a half-tenth, the fastest starter, Tabby Sturker. Valentina Margallo, another one of those quick starters. She was third quickest away, 5 dead. So if she can match that, she will open up a 4600s advantage over Tina Hermann just from the start. As she leaves the block, she's got 100th over the world champion from the last heat. 497. So she opens up to 5300s. $7,800s up. Nice smooth run so far. Little drift there for Valentina. Keep your toes off the ice. 10 to 11, not bad. Hit into 12. 13 is key because it sets you up for 14. It sets you up for this straight. Not bad. Takes the tap away into 15. Big height. Can she handle it? Sort of. 8 best speed only. The gap's going to come down from 8 tenths to maybe 2 tenths at the line, maybe less. Across the line, 1 tenth remained. Wow, 51.82 compared to 51.91 of Tina Hermann. So she definitely outdrove Hermann. 900s on this heat, 100th in the first. Wow, from 8 tenths up in the lower labyrinth to come across the line just a tenth in front. Shows the difference at bottom between herself with all those taps and skids and Tina Hermann, who managed to keep it pretty much on target.
I love my best, man. Next.
Well, she's got a love-hate relationship with Altenberg, that's for sure. Crash or medal. So we'll see next time out. She leads, though, from Tina Hermann with 15 to go. Yellow jersey of our points leader, Kimberly Boss. Unusual to find her so far back. Think back to 2 or 3 seasons ago where she was literally walking off to get points to stay in the World Cup rankings. Now, she's a very different athlete. 5'10" in the first heat, 5'06" in the second. She knows she needs a really clean run in the bottom half of this track. Really clean run at the top definitely helps. Bringing it back to Margallo. Valentina started 900s quicker. Now she has the lead. Little toe steering into 13. Hit. Oh. Flops out of 13. Really comfortable out of 14. That looks better than I remember her first heat being at the bottom. And this again. Little straighter. Don't hit the wall, across the line, and she is 5200s up, a track record for Kimby Boss. Wow, that's where Kimby was. What? Well, look.
Okay. Hi. Whew. Nice. Whew.
When you're 15th in the first heat, you don't necessarily expect to beat the track record in your second, but bruising as this track is, if you get the steers right at the bottom, you absolutely fly, and she was absolutely flying.
Hi. Bijna goed. Ik ben benieuwd hoe hard het nog gaat vandaag. Zo.
All right. Now then, Kimberly Boss has raised the bar, or lowered it, I don't know. Raised it, lowered the track record. Next up, Katie Ulender. 20th fastest start, drove herself down into 14th place. And she returns this season to ice sliding. 5:30 getaway. Little skin to fall. 3,300s back from Kimberly Boss. I think Boss may be in the leaders box for a while as yet, but that's not to say Katie Ulender might not move up either. First race here back in 2004, last race here in 2021. Fourth best speed at the bottom. Not a track that she knows really well, not like some of them. Across the line, 4,400s back, 51.85. Well, compared to a 52.33, that's a half-second improvement. And that is Ulender's ability to learn and adapt. Katie, late exit there, bleeding off some speed. And big height in 15. See, she's been around long enough. She knows all the pitfalls. Second place for Katie Ulender with 13 to go. Let's see if Alessandra Fumagalli with the finger guns can bring it in the second heat like she hoped. World Cup here in February last year, the final round of the season. She finished in 13th place, one of two 13th place finishes. Her best ever, 12th place in La Plagne earlier this season. She is close to that. 5:09, good start again. 5:10 in the first heat from Alessandra Fumagalli. Now she's going to have to be absolutely magnificent here to head off the challenge of record holder Kimberly Boss, our current leader. But if she can stay ahead of Katie Ulender, there's definitely no guarantee that she might not move up the order. 3,300s back, though. This was not the second heat she needed. He started with an 800s advantage. That'll be to a half-second disadvantage now. Getting down. Not going at all well. Oh, and on the wrong side into 16 as well. Coming unstitched badly. 9 tenths back at the line. Well, she's going to be unhappy with that, as unhappy with that one as Alessia Crippa is happy with her second run. They nearly meet in the middle. They're only 300s apart now. Well, Alessandra Fumagalli had a significant advantage over Alessia after the first heat of 3,200s. She lost 2,900s of those on this run. That's the battle of the Italian teammates. And the bottom of the track went about as badly as it might. On to the next one. And into the top 12, Freya Tarbig of Great Britain. Now Freya started fourth quickest with a 5:03. 498, exceptional starting, and keeps it clean out of one. Whoa, slipping and sliding 3 into 4. And half that lead will go before the next clock. Most of it will be gone. In the red, behind Kimberly Boss. World Cup best, 7th place in Winterberg on her debut. There's No official races on this track. Whoa! Big height to 15, sixth best speed. Is she going to be second at the line? She should be ahead of Katie Eulander. She is. 2800's back. Kimberly Boss stays in the leader's box. Austin Florian of the USA went from 10th to 5th in the men's race. I wonder how high Kimberly Boss can go. 15th after the first heat, but a track record run could keep her going into the top 6. Oh, Freya Tarbit pinballing down the straight from 14 into 15. Big height in 15, and that means an uncomfortable landing usually. Friends and family are there to greet her. Easy to get to Riga from the UK, and cheap. Next up, Hallie Clark. Kimberly Boss still leads, and every slider now with a greater advantage, not enormous advantage. 1400s in front. Again with Kim Boss finding the better part of a second in her second heat. And everybody else has got to be exceptionally good. 5:09 for Hallie Clark, another strong start from the young Canadian. 5:13 in the first heat. Drops into the red early on. Now this is about essentially preserving your position over those who were behind you, excluding Kimberly Boss closed brackets. So what Hallie Clark will want to do, need to do, is stay ahead of Freya Tarbit, who's currently in second. Clark with second best speed, closing back. She had dropped to 4th on the splits. Now she's coming back, and she's second at the line. 51.58 compared to 52.27. So that's again a 0.7 of a second improvement. There's Blake Ensie, her teammate, going to help with the sled. He's got all the numbers. Skippers and sliders remember those. And they always get to the bottom and ask me if I'm standing at the bottom. Did you hear my start, my finish? Sorry, no, I wasn't. No, didn't really notice. I was too busy watching what everybody's doing on the track.
Much better.
Much better. But it's still Kimberly Boss who leads from Hallie Clark and Freya Tarbit. 10 to go. Top 10 sleds, race 6 of the BMW IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup, and hiding behind the yellow helmet is Jacqueline Lerling as was. Jacqueline Pfeiffer, since she got married in the summer, the Queen of Winterberg. I started 24th fastest with the 5:37, came down 10th fastest.
Come on, Jacqueline!
So she starts 4600ths behind our fastest starter, Gabby Sturker, who's up next, came down just 200 behind her. 11th best velocity off the 12 start, 5:31, so she found 600ths. And again, her challenge to stay ahead of the flying Kimberly Boss. $1,700 advantage from the first heat for Jacqueline Lerling is now a 3,600 disadvantage. Helmet scraping on the ice. It's helmet rather than toes. You can see the paint worn away right by the edge of the visor. It's much she buries her head in the corners. Third best speed. She's going to close on Freya Tarbit and Hallie Clark. She should be second at the line. She's third at the line behind Hallie Clark. So she drops 2 spots. That is still a 5600ths of a second improvement, and she dropped 2 spots. Look at the way the head was buried there. I mean, that's a great shot there in 11. Her head is absolutely base. It's not her chin on the ice, it's almost her forehead on the ice. She buries her head so low in those big, high-pressure corners. She knows the line is right, and she just goes with it. All right, well, Jacka, the World Championships in Winterberg, her home track. She'll be hoping for a very big result there. Next up, Tabby Sturker. Tabby, the fastest starter in the field in the first heat with a 4.91 getaway. And yelled off at the top. She comes out of the right-hand groove. And that is a 4.91 again. Long skid down to 2, though. The problem with the right-hand groove is you go sort of low and early into corner 1 and come out high and late. And then you get the skid when you're trying to steer around it. Nevertheless, she's in the green over Kimberly Boss. She's gone from 3/10 to 1100s, and she should be in the red at the next clock, unless she's got something very good going here. Still green, still in the lead. Oh, huge skid, and almost off sled in 15. Almost off the sled, exiting 15. I'm afraid what was a very good run up to 13 has seen her drop to 7th position. Still 1800s better than her first heat, but oh boy, I bet we see 15 again. Well, words of consolation from Martins Ducours. This is exit 14, so here we go. She comes out here, takes a little tap, all going well. Come back, baby, come back. The next corner's going right. The sled is almost 90 degrees to the left. And when she gets there, she gets hang time off the sled and on the exit. Look at that. She is separated from the sled. She's inverted at the top of 15.
What can you do?
I know she's a circus acrobat, but she doesn't have to be on the flying trapeze in 15. Chow Dan next up, 8th place after the first heat. Kimberly Boss leads from Hallie Clark and Jackie Pfeiffer. Hallie Clark on a World Cup best. Not quite. Chow Dan next up. 5:09, another strong start. She started 5:16 in the first heat. Where was that speed? Whoa. High 3 into 4. Of course, the Chinese team, Dirk Matchens, is back home in Germany at the moment. I'm sure working more sleds, but watching intently. So excited to see Lin Shen win his first gold medal earlier today. Xiao Dan going the wrong way on this one. Dropped 2 or 3 spots. Where is she at the line? She is 5th at the line, drops 4. So Kimberly Boss leads with 7 to go. Again, 51.93, so she improved by 21 hundredths of a second and still dropped 5 spots. Well, Hallie Clark with 2 career silver medals in 2nd place, has not raced in a World Cup here. So this is definitely personal best World Cup territory as she chases Kimberly Boss up the order. And Jacka in 3rd place. Jacqueline Pfeiffer's best ever result here has been a 5th place finish, but Xiao Dan feeling the pain of this track. What about Mystique Rose? She had a really good run going from the 2nd fastest start, what at the time was the quickest start of the competition, 4:92. So is she going to be in the 9s or the 8? 4:92, identical to her first start. And she carried that speed with her well early on in the run. She had a little tap into 2, a little tap into 4. A little sideways everywhere here early on, but keeping the speed alive. Oh, and that might be the end of the green numbers. Hard hit there, really going to bobber of speed. She's gone from 6/10 to 600s up. Now the speed has all gone. And it's all gone with a massive bruises she'll have picked up on her shoulders and probably her hips as well. 10th place at the line, 52.29. And again, a great indication from Misty Rowe of how hard this track is. That's really beaten her up. Yeah, she's going to need week off before Altenburg. She has really taken a bruising from this track. High and late in 11, and that's going to smash you into the wall in 12. Utterly defenseless, no chance of doing anything about it there. And again, some big hits at the bottom of the track because she didn't quite have the speed for the steers that she felt she needed. All right, it's a tough one for newcomers. Suzanne Creyer, our reigning world champion. 6th place after the first heat. Kimberly Boss still the leader with that astonishing track record second heat. 1500th inside Janine Flock's old track record from 2020. Nobody got close in the first heat. So what can Susan Creyer do? 5:10 first start, 5:10 second start. Every sled that comes down now has a slightly greater lead over Kimberly Boss. And that means that their advantage lasts slightly longer. Who will make it last to the finish line? Will it be Creyer? Not bad, in through 11. Oh, but big loop, 12 to 13. She didn't have much in the bank. She's got even less now. Not sure below 7's going to get it done for her with the 10th best speed. This is going to be very close for the lead at the line, but she's not going to get it, is she? Kimberly Boss will lead with 5 to go. Well, this is now starting to look like a weather race for Kimberly Boss. One where an early run just beats the snow or the rain and everybody else struggles to match that pace. Well, it ain't that. What it might just be is Kimberly Boss having a very random first heat and being back to her absolute best in the second. So Suzanne Creyer in second place. Should be no worse than 7th here. And Creyer 5th place in last year's race. Kimberly Boss leads, 5 to go. Here we go then. Who is going to stop Kimberly Boss's run? Kimberly Boss, 7900ths off the lead after the first heat. 5600ths faster than her in the first heat was Hanaiza, the Olympic champion. Surely she's going to hang on here. 5:25 getaway. First heat was a 5:27, so he's found another couple of hundreds. Ooh, quite a hard hit going into 4. And the lead has got. Now she's going to have to be spectacular at the bottom. This is the women's Olympic champion, ahead of Jackie Narracott and Kimberly Boss. Know that she's got speed. She's got a slender lead and the best speed at the bottom. This is where she takes the lead away from Kimberly Boss to lead with 4 to go. It is Niza by 3300ths, 51.54. Well, eventually when you're 8/10ths back, no matter how good your second run is, if weather does not intervene, somebody's going to be in front of you, and that somebody right now, Hannah Nicer. But look at the way the sled drifts around in 11. Nose up attitude into 11. She had to work to get that back. And then out of 14, She gets a break there, just fringes the wall.
Viele Grüße nach Schmalenberg.
So Hannah Nizer leads with 4 to go. That means Kimberly Boss will no worse than 6th. What about Amelia Coltman? Now then, this is where we start to get interesting. Only 200s ahead of Hannah Nizer. Amelia in a position where she's a 10th out of the medals in the World Cup. World Cup best, 6th position, and that was last week in Lillehammer. Another relatively new track for her. She knows this place better because of pre-season training with the Brits. 5:15 getaway. So she's opened them up another 10th over Hannah Nizer early on. Wasn't quite as comfortable as she wanted 1 to 2. 1500s up. If she can continue to grow this gap, she's got a real chance. It's a bet. The speed isn't where Nizer was. Not sure that speed trap is 100%, but let's go with it. Was a 10th up. Is she in the green still? 800s up. This is an opportunity for Amelia Coltman. 3rd best speed. Nizer was the quickest of all. She's good into 16, though. It's a tie at the moment. Who's going to have the lead at the line? It is Hannah Nizer. Well, Amelia Coltman, 2nd at the line with 3 to go. It's a 2nd top 5 finish. In fact, it's a 1st top 5 finish. She was 6th, wasn't she, in Lillehammer? Oh, that was close. And this is the 2nd time in 2 weeks on relatively new tracks that Amelia Coltman has been in the mix. And 2 more different tracks you'd be hard-pressed to find other than going from Altenburg to Winterberg. Well, lots of noise from the British fans down at the bottom as we get to the final 3. Hannah Nizer leads, Amelia Coltman 2nd, Kimberly Boss 3rd. They'll all have a top 6 finish here. But will Mimi Reniva hang on to her spot on the podium? 1200s ahead of Hannah Nizer. She needs a better run than her first. Her first was 3rd quickest. She needs to find a 1/4 of a second somewhere. 5:05 first start. 5:02 the second. Little toe steer down into corner 2. Smooth into 4. This is nice. Keeps the speed up early on. Goes from 35 to 5,500s up. That's how you keep the start speed alive. 6,100s. 6th best speed. Good into 13. Little wild, but 14. Here we go. Straight up, baby. It does. 5,600s. 6th best speed. Nizer was fastest, but Raniva has got enough in the bank, surely. Maybe he's going to be in the medals here, and she is by 3,100s. 51.35. That is a very, very strong run. 4 tenths quicker than her first heat. There's Blake Enzie helping her out. Ilko with the camera down at the bottom as ever.
Together.
Yes, it did. Well, she missed one of her favourite tracks, St. Moritz, after Christmas because she was back home, racking up the hours in her regular job. But boy...
Hi, classroom champions. Keep at it. Attack every challenge.
That is a heck of a run from Mimi Reniva. And she was only 200s behind this woman, Janine Flock. Now, Mimi is not a European medalist, so right now, Hannah Nizer is a European medalist. Janine Flock has had a European medal in every one of the last 11 seasons. 3 gold, 4 silver, 4 bronze. Is she going to do it again? A 3-time consecutive winner on this track. 5:27 start. Nice and quiet at the top. So 300s quicker than her first getaway. Gonna take all the way down the track if she's gonna catch Mimi. She's bringing it back. Speed is exceptional. Spends so much time pre and post season here testing equipment. Little wild in 13. Comes out of 14, still 2200s back. Mimi's very quick at the bottom. Janine is not gonna catch her. She's got good form, good speed, but two bearers at the bottom. She does not make it and drops 3 spots. Thomas Ducours, 51.77. So Hannah Neiser, Amelia Coltman and Janine Flock are the top 3 with 1 to go in the European Championships. Amelia Coltman is going to be a European medalist. Hannah Neiser will be at least a silver medalist. Janine is the 3rd European sled for a 12th European Championship medal in a row. She needs Kim Marmons to have a horror story. So Mimi leads, 1 to go. Hannah Neiser's in the medals and will be at least European silver medalist. What about Kim Marmons? She's never had a European Championship medal. This is for victory. 5:05 start in the first heat. Three bronze medals in her World Cup career, her best 3 results. Today, in the first heat, she was outstanding. 1100s up on Mimi Reneva. Listen, all you hear is whoosh as she goes by the camera till she gets to 10 and 11. Neat out to the bottom. She is flying. Richard Bromley has got such a strong setup on this sled and she is driving it superbly. It's not going to be big. It's going to be very close. Only 800s up. She's in the red. Is it going to be Reneva or is it going to be Marmons? And it is Reneva who wins it from Kim Marmons. But Kim Marmons is the European champion. Mimi Reneva wins in Sigulda. And a silver medal is still her career best result. And she is the European champion. You're the European champion. Reminder of that, yes. And for a European slider, that is going to be massive. That is going to be massive. But for Canada's Mimi Reneva, she missed out on a chance for a 3rd career win in Saint Moritz. And now she has a win under her belt here in Sigulda. Well, Kim Marmons only a 10th slower than her first heat, but Mimi
Hi, Canada.
knocked it out of the park in the second heat. Never count this woman out. Never count anybody out in the 20 when it's your day. Yeah, we're still on. Now we're on. Mimi Reneva victorious from Kim Marmons' career high. Hannah Neiser and Amelia Coltman are joining Kim in the top 3 in the European Championships, ahead of Janine Flock, Kimberly Boss and Suzanne Crayer. Hallie Clark finishes 8th, ahead of Jackie Pfeiffer and Kimberly Boss from 15th to 6th with a stunning track record. What a second heat. Now this, unfortunately, was all about both heats. Well, there you go, there are the rest of our finishers. Dartusunta, Alessia Crippa tied together just inside the top 20. And the World Cup standings, well, Kimberly Boss recovering from 15th to 6th. Mimi Reneva with the gold. Kimberly outscoring closest rival Tina Herman significantly. Tina Herman finishing disappointing 15th, which is where Kimberly started. But Mimi Reneva put together a strong run in the first heat to lie third, only 1100ths off the lead.
Thanks for you. Thank you, Canfine. Thank you, Carbane. Thank you, Canada. Thanks for watching.
Running out of people to thank. Well, there are the World Cup standings. It's still the two Kims who lead. Kimberly Boss ahead of Kim Marmans. Valentina Margalio third as Tina Herman slips to fourth ahead of Janine Flock by just 1 point. And Hannah Nizer in sixth with Gaka coming up on the rails and Mimi hot on her heels. Well, it's been a highly entertaining season so far. Lots and lots of new names in the World Cup and lots of enterprising sliding going on. And it's so good to see so many packed fields, 30 plus at almost every race, which is fantastic for the sport because all of these newer, younger sliders and the smaller nations get great exposure. Well, there's your overall podium. Mimi Reneva from Kim Marmans. And in third place,
Amazing job.
Hannah Nizer, the Olympic champion. So wasn't the first heat converted straight into the second heat. Janine Flock slipping down the order. But our European Championships, Janine missing out on a European Championship medal for the first time after an 11-year streak of them. And our new European champion is Belgium's Kim Marmans. The gold medal goes Marmans, the silver going to Hannah Nizer, and European Championship bronze to Amelia Coltman. There we go. Good work there by Paul, the floor manager, to shuffle them round. And again, we said it with Marcus White taking the gold and Matt Weston taking the silver. Really important for funding. So it will be for Kim Marmans, Hannah Nizer, well, the German team pretty well funded, and Amelia Coltman. Certainly for Belgium and Great Britain, really important results to be a European Championship medalist. It's a great feather in her cap for Kim Marmans, European champion for the first time. And as far as I can tell, the first ever Belgian to become European champion in women's skeleton. I don't think we've even had a Belgian medal so far. We have not. The last British slider to get a European Championship medal, Lizzie Arnold gold in Innsbruck in 2015. Rose McGrandle got the bronze. Congratulations to Amelia Coltman. And that's it for Friday. A long day here in Sigulda. We've got 2 more days of action coming up. The women's Monobob rather starts the bobsleigh action tomorrow morning. And it's at 10 local, 0800 GMT, 0300 Eastern. We'll see you then. Bye for now.